Okay, we're doing Jasper Jones. Who's doing that? Okay. Which is a good old-fashioned novel, which we haven't done in a while. So I'm glad we're doing this because no, I don't think so. So, what did we do last week? Speech. So we've done a lot of speeches, we've done a lot of graphic novels, we've done a lot of movies, which is great. But today we're going back to basics. So what we'll do first is we'll just do a reminder of how to analyze novels and narratives. And then we will go into this text specifically. I'll just hand it out. Do you mind sharing one between two for now? Does anyone not have their own? Okay. So, yes. Can you just pass it down, Mark? Thanks. All right. So, narratives. Narratives are very easy as long as you memorize two conventions, which is really not a tough job, and that's characterization and setting. So, because I know some people here don't love English and always want the easy way out, we'll do like a really easy way of analyzing prose first. So we're not looking at the text yet, but I'll just send it into the chat. We'll look at a really easy, like cheap way of analyzing and doing an essay. All right, so it's not enough in a narrative techniques. What you have to do is you have to identify what technique is in your text, your quotes, whether it's imagery, personification, symbolism, figurative language such as similes, metaphors, diction, syntax. Yes, but you're never going to get that. Maybe, yeah, true. Onomatopoeia, true. I would just phrase that under phonetics. Guys, we haven't done phonetics that much, but really it's just whether the sounds in a word or a sentence are really important. You usually do this for poetry, but just really basically, if there's a lot of harsh sounds and it's talking about a really harsh topic, that's called cacophony. And then if it's the opposite, it's got really nice, smooth sounds in the sentence or in a word, and then it's talking about something really nice and pleasant, then it's euphony. And guys, this is the one that I want you all to pay attention to. This is when you read a quote and know it's important, but can't find a technique. What you do is you find the word which creates the importance, or which has the which makes the quote important, and then you do through the adjective, noun. If you want, you can pull up a chat, or you can sit here, up to you. Through the adjective, noun, verb of blah 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 blah. The author depicts whatever. Come in.
I'm just wondering if there's a friend.
Yes, there is. There's one right there. So guys, please, okay, I understand, you know, it's very rare that the quote you want to talk about has a perfect example of a simile. You just don't really get it anymore. So when you have a quote and it's really important to what idea you're talking about, just try and find the word that creates that idea, and then just say through the adjective of blah, 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 blah. That counts as a technique. Okay? Another really important thing. I know this seems really stupid, but look at really specific pronouns or conjunctions or all of that random stuff which can be symbolic. So I've always said, if there's a lot of like, they did this to us, for example, what's important about this is the pronouns us and they, which depict separation between two people or whatever it is. Boys, listen. Okay? So you really will shoot yourself in the foot if you look at a quote and just expect like a simile, perfect simile or perfect metaphor to pop up at you. Imagery is pretty easy to describe as long as there's just an image that's depicted. So that's your first step, is what techniques are in your quote. What you then want to do is, does this go towards, boys, character or setting? The chances that it goes towards neither is very slim. Okay. Usually every quote which you talk about will either add some sort of detail about the character. Boys, can you be quiet, please? Thank you. I don't have patience today. Yes, you. All right. So then you go, all right. This quote is going towards characterization. So you want to talk about whatever technique it is, and you talk about what effect it is, blah, 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 blah. Then you say, characterizes X as blah, blah, blah. Likewise, if it's contributing something about setting, you want to say this technique constructs the setting of X as blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'll give you examples. So, e.g., the adjective aggressive characterizes Rosie as a harsh tutor. Or setting. The imagery of the sensory imagery of stuffy air characterizes the setting of the classroom as unpleasant. This is really bad. I should put some positive quotes in there. Anyways, now, guys, what's left that I need to do in my analysis that I haven't done yet? Yes? Yeah. What idea is created by that? So when you link to society. Now, characterization is very easy. What you do is you link your character to what group of people it symbolizes in society. So you go, hence, the character X depicts how, and then the group is whatever your idea is. Maybe it just depicts the idea. And for setting, hence, the setting X symbolizes or depicts how, and then your idea. So let's say for the characterization one. So hence, the character Rosie depicts how the education system can be very stressful for students. Or hence, the setting of the classroom, of the stuffy classroom, let's say, symbolizes how the pressure of learning can take a toll on students. Note how my ideas are essentially the same thing. I've just phrased them in different ways, okay? So it's good to do that. And guys, that's it. That's all it is with narratives, okay? And then all you have to do is just do a bunch of these that I've just did this process. And then eventually you'll have 2 quotes which contribute the same idea. And then you have 2 quotes which contribute to another idea, and then 2 quotes which contribute to another idea. And then ta-da, you have 6 quotes, 3 ideas, and you can write an essay, okay? So prose is really narrative. I keep saying prose, they're the same thing. Narratives are really easy. They're deceptively hard, okay? So people think they're hard, but like, as long as you do this structured activity and you tick off all the points, and then you finish your paragraph, sit back and go, okay, I've got techniques, I've got characterization or setting, and I've got one clear idea that I've explained. That's a good paragraph, okay? Any question on that? The thing people like do the worst is this last step. They just stay at the character or setting level. And they write a whole essay on how Jasper Jones as a character is rebellious or brave. Your teacher doesn't care about Jasper Jones. Your teacher cares about who Jasper Jones symbolizes, what, like, Sorry to people on Zoom because the internet keeps cutting out, but it should be fine now. All right, so Jasper Jones takes place in a small town in Australia in the late 1960s. A boy named Charlie Buckton is reading in his room late at night when another boy, Jasper Jones, knocks at his window and tells him to come out. Shh. Jasper begs Charlie to come with him, and because of his respect for Jasper, Charlie obliges. As Jasper leads Charlie through the town where they live, Corrigan, Charlie thinks about what he knows about Jasper. Jasper is half caste, meaning that one of his parents is white while the other is Aboriginal. Because of his mixed race, he's blamed for every misfortune or crime in Corrigan. His father is a lazy drunk, and Jasper has long been forced to take care of himself. So, someone tell me why being half caste was significant in this context of 1960s. All of you should know this, yes?
It's because of like, I think Neville was in charge of the chief protector.
Yeah. What was the name of the big phenomenon?
Stolen.
Yeah, stolen generation. Good. So, context. We are in the 1960s. And as soon as you get a text that's 1960s Australia, you need to talk about the stolen generation. So essentially, I'm not going to go into it in depth because I know you guys all get taught about this a lot. It's where people that were mixed Indigenous Australians were taken from their families and put in like education centers where they were forced to learn and assimilate to white culture. Anyone know why they didn't take full Indigenous Australian children? Yes?
They thought of half Indigenous Australia as half savage.
Yeah.
They believe that they would still have a chance to become
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah, so they full Indigenous Australians were considered as savages and unable to change or convert. It's pretty messed up. So Jasper Jones is a half caste. Now, just make sure that was a terminology used at the time. If you use it in your essay, that's fine, because that's what the terminology was at the time. Just make sure you write it in quotation marks, okay? And make sure you identify somewhere that it was like a insulting slur or something like that, okay? Right. Someone tell me why they think it's significant that Jasper Jones is not himself the point of view of the text. Why is it in the point of view of Charlie? He's just this random guy. Yes?
Really Aboriginal, and Aboriginal people, they were treated the worst.
Was Charlie fully Aboriginal? No, he's white. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't read it.
Okay. Fair enough, actually. Should have said that. So why does everyone think it's important that, yes?
The town perspective, I guess.
Yes, because Charlie's point of view hence symbolizes the town's perspective or the white perspective. Oh, is it working? Okay, great, thank you. On Indigenous Australians. The white perspective is that it is a child's perspective. And Jasper Jones is a child too. So what happens when you have a child's perspective versus very mature adult topics? Yeah?
But also like child is very innocent and they're not born there.
Yeah. So the innocence and naivety is the best word to use. of the perspective directly highlights how humans, or what the default reaction of humans is to particular things in society. Right? So children, this almost sounds kind of creepy, but by putting it through a child's point of view, it's showing what like the authentic nature of humans is in relation to topics like this. So with stuff like racism and complex stuff like that society's created, the whole point is it's meant to show how that stuff is not normal and like the children don't understand it. Yeah.
Young adult.
Yeah. Young adults, you would say the same thing. But when you have a young adult perspective, so these are stories like Catcher in the Rye and stuff like that, teenagers, it just gets more complex because teenagers have very volatile developing identity. So they're very malleable to their environment, if that makes sense. Yeah, malleable. That's a weird word to use with humans, but yeah, influence. Suffer you. Yeah, influence is a good word. All right. So, let's have a read of the text now. I'm just going to send it into the chat. Right. So I took this from the middle of chapter 1. Yeah. All right. There are drums in my head. Doom, doom, doom. Shh. That is an onomatopoeia. Boys, shush. It's so difficult to breathe in this little clearing. Something has shifted. A bubble has burst. I want out. I feel faint. I've got to be away from this. I want to be back at home, but that seems very far away. And I'm so threatened by the fact that even if I broke out of here, I couldn't get back there if I tried. So what can we say about these opening lines? What techniques are in the opening lines? Yes?
Phonetics, but they're cacophonic.
Yeah, cacophonic. Through what words?
Through doom, 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 and difficult to breathe.
Yeah. I would say more of the onomatopoeia is important. Gosh, spelling this word is a nightmare. Onomatopoeia. I think that's it. That's a stupid word. Anyway, there's 4 vowels next to each other. All right, so pretty much there's an onomatopoeia. What other techniques are here that you guys notice? There's a few. Yes? Of what? I would say maybe in the it's difficult to breathe in this clearing. Guys, anything about no, close, not auditory. There's another one. So anything relating to feeling something is just normal sensory imagery. So things like breathing, it's difficult to breathe, and feeling faint, that's all relating to sensory imagery. What else? What about, yeah? Yes, short syntax is very important here. And what's one more thing? Especially because this is a child's point of view, so it's meant to imitate how a child talks. What's one thing you notice that's used a lot? I. Did someone say I? Yes, I. So all of this creates the mood that the young protagonist feels panicked for whatever's going on, which we'll find out what it is soon. All right. Yes?
But you also say foreshadow.
Yeah, definitely foreshadows that there's going to be conflict. No, it's too late. Like Jasper Jones, I have seen what I have seen. I am involved. Jasper, I don't know what to do. I don't know why I'm here, I say, observing Laura Wishart's bare, grubby feet. This is horrible. We've got to tell somebody. Jasper looks at me with unnerving intensity. No, we can't. We can't tell anybody. We can't tell anybody, Charlie. Jasper presses his lips firm, his eyes wide and white. We have to find out, Charlie. What do you mean, find out? We have to find out who did this, who killed Laura. We have to find out who come here and done this to her. I shake my head briefly before I reply. What are you talking about? No, we don't. We go to the police. That's what we do. We go to the Sarge and we tell them what happened and where she is, and they find out. That's their job. We can't keep this a secret. Her family have to know. It's got nothing to do with us. Shit, Charlie, you've got no idea, do you? What? Why? Open your eyes, mate. What does that mean? They are open. What are you trying to tell me? Jasper sighs heavily. Bloody hell. Listen, Charlie, we can't tell anyone. No way. Especially the police. Because they are going to say it was me. Straight up. Understand? They're going to come here, see that it's my place. They'll see her face. They'll see she's been knocked around. They'll see that it's my rope. And they're going to say it was me that lynched her up. They'll charge me and put me away, mate. No questions. All right. Can you guys start figuring out what the idea is going to be, especially in what Jasper says? So someone's died and some reason it's in Jasper Jones's backyard and it looks like he's been set up. So what's important about what he says here? Yes? Yeah. Perfect. So you've done step 3. So that's perfect, right? So the idea here that's been revealed is that there is prejudice in Australian police, and you could almost make that more broad to say Australian authorities towards Indigenous Australians, even their youth. Good. So that's our 3rd step. That's our link to the idea. We know that what's the technique? What's step 1? What techniques are used in this paragraph to communicate that idea? Yes?
Colloquialism?
Yes. So colloquialism is a good technique to use in Australian text. Pretty much it just means slang, the slang they use. So like you could say bloody hell. It just depicts. So yeah, that's one technique. What else is another technique which depicts this idea? There's a more subtle one too. Guys at the back, quiet please. Anyone? What's another technique? Yep. What do you mean? Oh, yes. Yes, that stresses the importance of police in this idea. What else? What about just the way he talks depicts how he feels very detached from police? Yeah. Yep. The monologue. Yes. That the purpose of a monologue is always to emphasize that person's opinion. So I would say the monologue is really helpful here in empowering the Indigenous Australian voice or empowering his experience. But what is a very simple, subtle indication in this paragraph that he feels very segregated from police? We talked about it when we talked about techniques. Very easy, small one. No. Look. We can't tell anyone, no way, especially the police, because they are going to say it was me, straight up. They're going to come here, see that it's my place. They'll see her face. They'll see she's been knocked around. They'll see that it's my rope. Yeah? Yes, the they. So there's a lot of exclusive pronoun of they. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. It can be really hard, guys, to spot this, right? When you haven't analyzed that many narratives, it's really hard to spot the little stuff like that. But you just need to keep trying to remind yourself to look for those specific words, the pronouns and stuff like that, because they can be very helpful. All right, we've got the techniques. Now, second step, characterization or setting. Characterization. That contributes to characterization of Jasper Jones as being what? Yeah, of being skeptical and cautious towards police. This depicts the idea that there is prejudice in Australian police towards Indigenous Australians even their youth. Okay, that's a perfect analysis block. Yes.
I was gonna say, because of his young age, when he's talking about the serious topic, he also said that he's lost his innocence because of the segregation and the
Yeah. Do you know what technique or convention that is that you just talked about?
No.
That is the convention of point of view. So, guys, I put characterization and setting, but there are also other narrative conventions. There's point of view, conflict, and structure. Usually you don't use them that much, but here we can use point of view. It also juxtaposes the first person point of view. Now the first person point of view is actually of Charlie. So if you're talking about Jasper's point of view, that would be characterization. You could do either one. So you could say first person point of view of Charlie, who witnesses this, I don't know, confronting topic despite being a young boy. Yeah, that's like an additional idea you can say. But guys, just quickly, look, these 3 steps, and then that you put them into sentence form, and that's a great analysis for that quote. Just obviously, guys, when you're putting in your quote, don't put in that entire paragraph, only put in the parts that you're directly analyzing. So maybe put in a few of the they sentences. Where is it? They'll see her face, they'll see she's been knocked around, they'll see it's my road. Maybe put that in, maybe put in the bloody hell at the start, okay? So take out all the other stuff that you're not analyzing. Bless you. So, what, why? That's bullshit, Jasper. That's not going to happen. What? Oh, wait, really? And Jasper points at me now, rising like a snake. Who was the first person you thought of? Who was the first person who come out of your mouth? And it happens like that. Like when you realize that there's no such thing as magic, or that nothing actually answers your prayers or really even listens. That cold moment of dismay where your feet are kicked out from under you, where you're disarmed by a shard of knowing. He's right. Jasper Jones is right. He's really in trouble. So guys, that quote depicts what? What is the purpose of this line? Like when you first realize that there is no such thing as magic. Yes? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So this is the moment where he realizes that he's being ignorant. And this is kind of what you said would be better in this quote. So guys, this is the exact moment that the person, Charlie, where Charlie realizes, you know, at his young age, that society is unfair, pretty much, and racist. And that's why he uses the phrase, you know, it's like when you first realize that there's no such thing as magic. Like, he uses that analogy, you know, to depict the disappointment of realizing, you know, the reality of Australian society. So now I'm not doing it as step 1, 2, 3. I'm kind of integrating all of them, but in your head, you guys should still know the difference. So this is 1. This is the technique. This is the characterization bit, and then this is the idea. So don't get confused by the way I'm writing it. It's just easy for me to do it like this. Right. Of course, this town will blame him. Of course, Corrigan is going to accuse him of this. And it doesn't matter what he says. His word isn't worth shit. All that matters is the fact of this girl's death and this town's imagination. He'll be cuffed and led away. The outcast that killed the Shire president's daughter. He doesn't stand a chance. Then what do we do? And what about Laura? I ask. They'll start looking as soon as they notice she's gone. They're going to find her here anyway. Jasper shakes his head shortly as he pinches out a cigarette. I notice he's quivering slightly. He doesn't answer my question. Instead, he pulls at another thread of thought. That's what I don't get, Charlie. Why here? How did it happen here? Someone must have followed me. Someone else knows about this place. I don't think it's chance. It can't be. What, you think someone is trying to set you up? I ask. Jasper offers me a smoke, and again, for some reason, I gesture to suggest I'm too full to accept. Yeah, I reckon they might be, Charlie. I narrow my eyes. But you said earlier that people had been here before, with you, like me tonight. Sure, I know. But you're the only bloke who's been here, and I can count on my hand the girls who have. Did you ever bring Laura Wishart here? Jasper Jones pockets his hands and looks at the ground. Yeah, I did. A few times, Charlie. A lot, actually. But I always took her a different way through the bush so she'd never know how to get here on her own. That's kind of messed up. Well, why would you do that? Well, why'd you reckon? I don't want anybody knowing how to get here. It's hard to explain. It's all right to share it sometimes, but I also want to keep it to myself. I nod. But it wasn't like how you're thinking with Laura, he goes on quickly, though I have no idea what he's presuming. She weren't the same as other girls round town. She was smart, Charlie. Not smart like you. Different. Sort of wise. We got on real good. She always wanted to come here. She was always on at me, but I liked to let her. You know how you meet someone and you feel like you've known them all your life? That's how it was. Real easy. It wasn't like those other girls that come here. We've never really fooled around much, even though she were older. She was strange about all that stuff. But I never cared really. It's not why I bring her here anyways. None of this clears my confusion. Jasper's shoulders have eroded. He looks defeated and sad. Who would do this then? Who? You knew her. Is there anybody who would do this? Who would want to? I have a suspicion, he says, and lights another cigarette. Despite the stillness of this place, he shields a tip with his curved palm. He doesn't offer me one, though this time I almost wish he had. I think I know who could have done it. It came to me straight away, and I can't shake it off. I keep thinking about it, and I reckon I might be right. Who? I lean forward. He taps his cigarette, holds it by his thigh, and turns to me. Jack Lionel. I reckon it was Jack Lionel. My eyes widen. Just quickly, guys, what's the whole purpose of this cigarette that keeps being repeated? So, I know obviously you're thinking, well, it doesn't mean anything. He just wants to have a cigarette, which is fair. But just because it's English, we need to analyze everything. Why do you think this cigarette is really important to Jasper's characterization? Yeah? Yeah. Yes. So one thing you could say is it's kind of a way of, despite Jasper being a child, it's depicting or characterizing him as being grown for his age. So that's the characterization bit. This is our technique bit. Now the idea bit. Why do you guys think the author has chosen to do this? Depict this Indigenous boy as growing up really quickly. Yeah, perfect. So this depicts how Indigenous Australian youth particularly have to grow quickly and lose their innocence as they face a lot of problems and pressure. Perfect. My eyes widen. See, Charlie, when I say I've seen him a bunch of times, it's because he's got it in for me, more than anyone else in this town. For certain. He's a bloody madman. Every time I pass his house on the way to here, and I mean every single time, he comes out on his porch waving and yelling, calling out my name. Real strange. He knows my name, Charlie. I reckon he's out to get me. Got to be, for sure. This is all too much. It's all too fast. I'm helplessly lost and afraid. I really feel like that cigarette now. I watch its amber ember rise and fall with each toke. It looks comforting. I feel tired. I want to sit or to lie down on this soft bit of earth, but I can't. I'm involved. That's what I don't understand, that somehow I become enmeshed in this. But what has this got to do with Laura? If Mad Jack Lionel is out for you, why would he do this? Because he were out on his veranda hollering every time I walked past with Laura. So he's seen her. He knew we were together a lot, and she's seen him too. She got really afraid of him. He got her all worked up and tense. So maybe he followed us. He's the only one I can think of who might have. Or maybe he knew somehow where we were going. Maybe he knows about this place. Maybe it was him, Charlie. Jasper anticipates my next question. Every night he sees me, he runs out and screams and yells and carries on. Every single night. Every night except tonight, Charlie. Remember that? Not even a light on. Nothing. And we were out there waiting. Not a word. I frown. I don't feel so removed anymore. I bite at the inside of my cheeks. All right. Just quickly, I want you guys to read and analyze the next 2 pages. So from sudden tears sting my eyes to discovers her at the end of page 6. Actually, if you look at the bottom right of your page, it should be page 5 and page 6. So make sure you guys do that same method we did, okay? So make sure you put the technique, characterization or setting, and then the idea, all right? It's really important. Oh, I'm gonna do the roll. All right. Size here, sits here. Push is not here. Flavia is not here. Alex is here. Rootby is not here. No. Okay. Sam on Zoom. Ruben's on Zoom. Manas is on Zoom. Abadev's here. George is here. Lara's on Zoom. Ryan is here. Adiv is here. Blackmont's here. Renee's here. Mark's here. Crewman's not here. Ronan, he's here. Rush is on Zoom. Kadesh is here. Alex here. Drew is not here. Zoom. Charles here. Brian is here. Prithvi's here. Where's Trishti? She's not here. Today's here. She's here. Naja. Oh yeah, you're hiding back. Donna's here. Yoshabel's here. Arian's here. Layla's here. Teja's here. Taksha's here. Nathan, where are you? Are you there? Dejan. Is this making sense, Dejan? When's your assessment for it? Oh, great. On what? The toll man?
There's some documentary about some policeman telling him it's this Aboriginal guy who died.
So yeah, the ideas will be helpful.
I think it's a narrative between the white girl and the toll man.
Mm. Yeah. So you probably have the same type of ideas here about authorities and stuff.
No, but she said that, she said that she's going to like very specific comparisons, but like.
Okay.
So what, is there anything that like takes it out of place?
Specific comparison. With that, I would look at what perspective is the story told from. So the documentary filmmaker, whose story does it focus on more?
Yeah.
Whereas the white girl, whose story does it focus on more? It's like, what gaze is it looking at problems through? Shh. Guys, shush please, you should be quietly analyzing. Next week, we're doing the rabbit and the rabbit proof fence. So we're doing like a comparative task. Who's doing that? Oh, yeah. And then week 9, we're doing exit west. And then week 10, we're doing no sugar. Gosh, we've got a lot of Indigenous Australian stuff lined up then.
This literally, that's the whole thing you did.
Yeah, it's a lot. And you do a lot more in year 12 as well. So get used to it. I think it's good. Like, Auslie is not the most interesting thing. Exit West is about immigrants, I think. But yeah, once you guys, with Indigenous Australian texts, the ideas are all the same, okay? So it's really not hard. You just, as long as you learn the ideas, you'll be able to do great. Shh. Come on, quiet. Yes? Oh, we're doing exit west. Oh, you don't want to do week 9? When's your assessment on it? So not, wait, are we going into week 7? Okay. So we're going into week 7. Is it okay? When's your assessment for rabbit proof fence? Okay. This week.
Yeah.
Oh, when's the rabbit? You're doing rabbit too? Oh. Oh my God. Wait, so what's next week? So you don't have anything week 8? Oh. Well, then in that case, you can ask me for specific help on it this lesson if you want. The ideas, I guess, are kind of similar here, especially rabbit proof fence because they're children and it's stolen generation. Yeah. So we're doing that in week 10. Yeah. Wait, this is getting confusing to me. Guys, who has an assessment? Not this week, but next week. What text? Oh, what about you? Okay.
It's a bit late for me now.
But don't you have a comparative? When is it? Guys. Seriously, like, okay, we'll just, okay, so we'll do exit west next week, and then we'll do white girl in week 9, so the week after, and then we'll do no sugar in week 10. Jeez. Shh, guys, come on, you should be analyzing. There's 2 whole pages for you to analyze, yeah? So not this week, but next week? Yeah, that's fine. So we'll do it. Oh, that won't work. Hold on, let me think. Pranay, when's your assessment? Okay. Do you mind if we swap that then? So we do white girl next week and then exit west the week after? I might do like some sort of Google form next term where you guys all like put what text you have assessment on and watch what week, and then I just organize it. Exams? Oh yeah. Guys, so usually, wait, year 12s, how many of you are there? There's only two, right? Aaron, you're year 12, right? And Sid, you're year 12. Is anyone else year 12? Sorry, you're year 12. Okay, so your exams are when? Week 3? Of next term? Mocks. Oh. Yikes. When's ways? Week 3, week 4? Yeah, around then. Okay. I feel like you guys are better off me helping you individually than doing a class lesson on something, or do you want me to do something in class? It's up to you. Okay.
If we ask you to like do a movie with us, would that be possible?
Do a movie with you?
Yeah,
In terms of like what?
like, you know.
Oh, like plan and like teach a movie. Okay, I thought you wanted to be like a star or something. Yeah, sure. What movie? What movie? Oh, yeah, okay. When do you want me? Okay. Because you're gonna do it for ways?
Yeah.
Okay. How about we do it first week next term? Are you sure, Sid? Because I can just okay, yeah, I can just help you individually. All right. Year 11s, the rest of you. Usually you have exams in week 6, 7.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Week 2 in year 11. What?
Our exams are in week 2.
Guys, shh. Wait. I have 25 year 11s right now in front of me with all different exams and all different tests. So if you want me to write down a text to study next term in HiQ before your exams, please just first in, first served, okay? So like, just text me and say, please do Shrek by week 6 next term, and I'll fit it in somehow, right? Because it's too hard for me to do like a full Excel spreadsheet of everyone's assessments. Hi guys, continue analyzing. Come on, come on. Stop starting cut off. Guys are doing great today. Good job. Yeah, if you bring it in class and video. It's better if I just take it. But I mean, I'll upload it to the drive afterwards and then the notes from Joe Drive and then. Oh, yeah. No worries. Okay, is Exit West a novel? What is that?
Yeah, it's no.
Guys, next week what we'll do is similar to this, like analyze it, but instead of that time I spent at the start of class on post reading, not post reading, analysis of narratives, I'll put up a few essay questions and we'll look over the whole how to answer the question thing again.
This, you know, the documentary, yeah. That's
Yes.
like the one I want to hear. This is why the police officer was white, and then he killed this Aboriginal guy, and like for the defense of the police officer, like the people who interview, and say that he's a nice man, and the guy, they're all white. Like,
Yeah.
how do I like write about that?
The people that are interviewed are all white.
No, like that statement was even about white.
Yeah,
So like, how do I like say that?
so who are the people that are being interviewed? Because that's really,
So like the victim's family was interviewed, like a couple of witnesses, couple of Aboriginal.
and they said that the police officer was really nice.
But they won't ask that question. The people that like compliment, like said he was a good guy, he was a nice person, were all white. So like, how do I put that into?
What do you say? So with interviews, interviews is the convention. What you draw from that is one, what they're saying reflects the attitude of who's saying it, which is the white. Is it his co-workers?
But it was like,
Just random.
like citizens of the town.
Okay, so you say this interview dialogue of, and then put in what they say, because that is nice, reveals how the interviewees are all white and hence have an empathetic attitude towards a police officer. And then what you could say is this reveals how they might be influenced by their race to not criticize the man because they're the same race. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and also the scar on the thing, like on the documentary, right? So like, they describe the guy, like the tall man, like 6'7" or something, so they say out his name. And
The
then,
police officer.
yeah, like
Yeah.
at the start, and then it comes to like the tall man, like the title, and then afterwards, like 2 seconds later, we hear Aboriginal voices like talking about like the spirit of a tall man, it's scary and like this, like this.
Yes.
So how do I do that? Like,
All of what you said are techniques and conventions. The idea is constructed through the symbolism of tall as being white.
like that, like.
Like dominant and
Yeah.
booming and ominous. So it reveals how, it symbolizes how Indigenous Australians have felt threatened by colonizers throughout time. Yeah. So you said all the convention techniques, and then you just gotta think about what the meaning is. So the meaning is that tall is symbolic of something that's really threatening, which is how Indigenous people feel in Australia. Guys, a few more minutes, we'll go for it, yeah?
I was wondering if you could speed run reading my speech.
Okay. Speed run. Very brave doing a speech on academic competition. Shh.
And for some context for this speech, I'm Korean.
Okay,
That's why I was messed up.
guys, quiet, wait. Good. Guys, quiet. Oi. Shh. Shh. Good. I only have one criticism. At the start, and when you wrote not before, try and open it in the context of Australia and then use South Korea as an analogy of where we might end up in the future.
Because like at the end, I link it back to Australia.
Yeah.
But let's-
But
should
try
I-
and do it at the start because your hook should draw in your audience. Guys, oi, shh, shush, boys, please, few more minutes analyzing and we'll go through as a class. Come on. Shh. So what I would say is paint a picture of academic competition in Australia. So write box and whisker plots, predictors, like write stuff like that. Oi. Shh. Box and whisker plots, predicted, shaking music give your parents your report mark. Do you know what I mean?
So I should try and paint like academic competition in Australia as something that people want to avoid, or like that.
As a stressful thing.
Because there's,
Oi, guys, it's way too loud.
there's also like another way you can approach it as.
Dominic, boys, just because I say shh and then turn away doesn't mean you can start talking again. Shush.
You can paint academic competition in Australia as something that's not at like the forefront of high schoolers' lives, and how people are like missing school to like so
Yeah.
and like missing bus
Oi, shush. Yes.
for like unnecessary reasons. But I should focus on like the stress.
Yeah, I think you should say in both contexts it's stressful. South Korea is just way more worse, but we can say like in Australia we need to take steps to prevent ending up in that spot, which you've said sometimes throughout there. I think make the hook start off in Australia, but your actual speech is really good in terms of conventional stuff. All right, is everyone done? I'm assuming you are because you're getting very chatty. So, shh. Someone put their hand up. Yes. When? Next term? We can do week 2, going into week 2. The weekend before week 2. Okay. So the weekend before week 2, we'll do Black Panther. All right. So, what did you guys get as some key ideas in page 5 and page 6? Yes?
That Charlie's starting to build trust and empathize towards Jasper.
Yeah. And just quickly, what are some techniques generally that the authors use to do that?
The
Boys. Shh. Yeah.
emotion they can find, like
Yes. So the emotive diction. And then I would also say in the dialogue, there starts to be more inclusive language. Like, what are we going to do about this? Shh. Yeah, so it's starting to symbolize. Actually, let's go to the character first. It's starting to characterize Charlie as empathetic of the struggles that Jasper faces. What's the idea linking to society? Someone else? Come on, guys. I saw a lot of your pages have annotations on it. What is the symbolism behind this? How does Charlie's empathy with the struggles Jasper faces, how can that be linked to society? Is that a hand up? No. Yes?
Maybe it shows how there are some non-Indigenous Australians that empathize and
Yeah.
understand.
So it depicts how white Australians have the capacity to empathize and support Indigenous Australians. Yes?
there's also something about him feeling betrayed by the society because of the way they
Yeah. Guys at the back, quiet please.
Jasper.
Yeah.
So we would say what I said is that the children, they were shown a different reality of how society treated these people. They
Yes.
were corrupt.
Yeah. And that's through the emotions of disappointment, because it's showing how in this specific scene, this is where his attitudes towards his society are changing. Good. And then what else? Yes, Layla? Yes. Is it page 5 or 6? Oh, yes. Guys, who's actually read To Kill a Mockingbird? A few? Okay. Essentially, it's a story about a young African American boy who gets falsely convicted of murdering or assaulting a white girl or something like that. So it's kind of like similar plot line to what's going on here. Like he thinks he'll be falsely convicted. So guys, pay attention to this. If a text references another text, it's called intertextual link. Someone tell me what the difference with allusion is. What's allusion? Anyone? This is not allusion, it's intertextual link. Oh, yes? Yes. So an allusion to something is a reference to something that's in real life, but it's not a text. So actually, the Bible is literally the only one that can be both, but I was going to use the Bible as an example. Like you can have biblical allusions alluding to stuff in the Bible, but I mean, technically the Bible's a text, so it could also be intertextuality. Or if you can allude to, what else can you allude to? Events in society. So alluding to the stolen generation, that counts. Or alluding to like 9/11 or something. Okay. So alluding to things that are present in society. But if it's a reference to a text, it's an intertextual link. Anything else that we haven't said? Yes?
But what about biography?
What do you mean?
Like, it could be about someone that actually exists, and it could also be a text.
Alluding to a person.
Oh, that's just allusion. Yeah. You could only reference it as an intertextual link if you analyze the way a specific biography has described that person. But because biographies are just meant to be an accurate reflection of a person, it's just allusion. Good question though. All right, guys, instead of reading the rest of the text, it kind of talks about the same ideas we talked about. What I'm going to get you guys to do is to write up an essay plan, okay, on this. Just all you need is idea 1, quote 1, and then do the 3-step analysis. Quote 2, 3-step analysis, and then repeat that. I'm going to be nice and say that, repeat that just once. So just 2 ideas. So this is what you need to do. Everyone clear? Shh. You can dot point it. You don't need to write it in full sentences. So you need to come up with 2 ideas, 2 quotes to support each idea, and then the 3-step analysis under each quote. If you want, well, we should have enough already analyzed for you to do this, but if you feel like you want more, then you can continue reading and see if you can find any new quotes.
I come from a very good area. So we go right after that, if you go 100, it's like a hundred.
Yeah.
Some people turn it lost in general. My family did stuff.
That seems very.
My parents lived with them for all my it's very extended.
No, they're kind of Arabic, it's there because there's not. Yeah, it's fine. It's just. Persian is the ethnicity. Yeah. And then Iranian is the nationality. Does that make sense? So where are you from? Yeah, so your ethnicity is Indian and your nationality is Australian.
Yes, actually, I was born in Australia. Born in Australia. Okay.
But your ethnicity is still Indian. Obviously, you're identified as Indian. No gender. Yeah. Yeah.
But then if you're saying that people.
Boys, come on, do what? Put your phone away. Put your phone away. Put your phones away and do that. Come on. Alright, do work, please. I can tell. I could just snip it that you're not doing work. No, sometimes you just look at a student and you're like, I know you're not paying attention right now. With cigarette, you know, you can also use repetition, you can use imagery, and you can use motif. Motif is a repeated symbol. So if the symbol's used more than once, it becomes a motif. Yeah, it's a motif.
Why did I just open your box? Oh. like, don't worry about it, you haven't been that much. Exam. How much of the whole about that? Don't worry about much of you haven't been that.
Great. Being a creative.
I didn't even remember, it was like the last second.
Being a creative.
You were. I don't know if you got the meeting.
Not.
We're in the same way. Can we look at the dark? I mean,
To be restricted by the bounds of the 60s, you know, you can try and get higher. It's not impossible.
I don't understand how.
It's not.
Teacher right now.
Guys, quiet, please. Feminism. What do you mean? On one space anymore. On the feminism, you guys are. What? Being honest. Hi, guys. This essay plan is a really good exercise for you.
That's calling your problem. At least get like. I would have it as a plan, probably was from.
Yeah, but you get adjust it based on what.
Yeah, I would say, that's right. I need it for the test.
Quiet, guys. Trish.
That would be like, really believe.
Yeah, they
Guys, shush, oi.
Yeah.
Quiet, guys. Come on, quickly try and finish it off. You can also want that, oh, it's not. Some of them get so like hot. Yeah.
Because you had good quality one, I don't share.
What if it's hard enough? Yeah, I think it's one of the gift ones, and almost like burns by like veggies, like. When you find eyes, it's really big. It's me, decide.
Oh, no. Quickly, can someone actually, someone put their hand up who hasn't spoken today and tell me what 2 ideas they picked. Otherwise, none of you leave. So you better volunteer. Come on. You've spoken today, heaps. Come on, boys. One of you want to take off for the team?
I always think.
Come on, Raj.
Always.
Okay. Speaking to me doesn't count. When I'm there. I mean, speaking to the class. Come on, guys. Double Debs, you want to have a go? And you know the answers. We've talked about everything. Touch.
Just the idea of one race is superior than the other. Use one race as a scapegoat is prominent in this text. We took the way that Jasmine Jordan and spread out the names and the president's name on the average. People like Kennedy were showing through the.
Out of breath.
Showing through the assumption of him being the killer of. Instead of showing that.
Oi.
Showing that Aboriginal people have a better reputation, even though they're being a half caste, it's still them being a half caste, which is bad.
Yes, that was more like a full body paragraph than 2 ideas. But I'll give that. Guys, quickly. Oi. Next week, we're doing a novel again. So please bring your notes from today. And we're going to practice how to answer the question properly, okay? Gotta watch out. Can you please make sure I didn't hear you? All right. Good job today. You guys actually did well. I'll see you next week.